Hey, what's going on, everybody? This the narrator once again, and Mr. O Jackson-Bey, and I know it's been a minute for a while, but I figured I had to go ahead and do this one. Now, we all know about from a year ago in the NFL that remember how the two sellouts, Malcolm Jenkins and Eric Reid, had sold out the player coalition split. They sold out for a certain amount, disclosed amount of fiat, just the AKA I call it hush fiat, from protesting or raising their fist. Well, they got that, and we all know, in the Super Bowl past that the Eagles won the Super Bowl. Next thing you know, Malcolm Jenkins, he's all on the TVs, all on the radio, on TV shows, Regis and Kelly, all this stuff like that. The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, you name it. But, you know, Eric Reid, who was one of the first one and the best friend of Colin Kaepernick, was the one who took a knee beside Kaepernick. And they had to split over the Players Coalition. So, over the Players Coalition. But truth be told, the Eagles and the Panthers played today because Eric Reid now plays for the Panthers. He's got a 1 year deal over there for I think $3 million. But it was some war words exchanged face to face, as you can see the picture up there. How you had one of the officials had to get between Eric Reid and Malcolm Jenkins. Let me just go ahead. I'm going to read it to you right here. Eric Reid blasts Malcolm Jenkins over player coalition split. He sold us out. Facts. Carolina Panthers safety Eric Reid lambasted Philadelphia Eagles safety Malcolm Jenkins following a heated encounter Sunday. Reid and Jenkins were both part of the Players Coalition, which is a group built to foster social initiatives for underfunded communities and further opportunities for quote-unquote African Americans. And we both know, that's not a nationality. You can't be from two continents, period. You're still stateless. Reid left the group late last year after Jenkins, along with Anquan Bolden, on the group's behalf, agreed to a partnership with the NFL that will contribute $90 million to groups and causes endorsed by the coalition. Okay, hold up. It wasn't $90 million. It was $80 million. It was supposed to be $100 million. Then it went down to $80 million. Now they're coming up here saying it's $90 million. Okay, that's a lie. Now, Reid left the group along with Russell Okung and Michael Thomas from the Miami, back down here in my home territory of Florida with the Miami Dolphins. because the thing about it, and Shannon Sharp had made it play by play and broke it down, like how Malcolm Jenkins and Anquan Bolden was meeting with Roger Goodell and the other NFL officials behind Eric Reid them back about doing back alley deals and stuff. Now, if they're gonna do a deal, why he just didn't invite them in on it and stuff, They didn't, because Eric Reid said they want this thing to happen. They should have, and then on top of that, worse, they went behind and he double crossed Colin Kaepernick. And I've always said I was suspect about that with Malcolm Jenkins. When I see him up there raising his fist and all that on the sideline and all that stuff, But let me continue. The 26-year-old got into an altercation with Jenkins prior to the game. Now, Eric Reid also body slammed Eagles tight end Zach Ertz. Ooh, and Eric Reid ain't no little dude. Yeah, he body slammed tight end Zach Ertz. Put an H in front of that Ertz, and boy, did it hurts during the contest after delivering a late hit on quarterback Carson Wentz. Now, Reid expressed his continuing irritation post-game, denouncing Jenkins for taking money from the league and ostensibly, ostensibly turning his back on Colin Kaepernick. I just said that, you know. And Colin Kaepernick, he put his career on the line and all that. And we in 2018, midway through this NFL season, and this man still is not on nobody's roster. And we know why. Now, Reid was saying, now we believe a lot of players should have stepped up for Colin. I believe Malcolm capitalized on the situation. He co-opted the movement that was started by Colin to get his organization funded. It's cowardly. He sold us out. And if you want to go through that, saying it's systemic oppression, which is what I'm protesting in neo-colonialism. Reid was asked if he believes Jenkins is a neo-colonialist, and he agreed with the assertion. Now, after signing with the Panthers earlier this year, Reid explained why he left the Players Coalition. The Players Coalition is an NFL-funded subversion group, so that's why I removed myself from them, and I'll keep moving forward with Colin. Now, Kaepernick tweeted his support for Reid during Sunday's game. And you see the tweet right there, Eric Reid, enough said at E_Reid35, hashtag I'm with Reid. Yeah, now Eric Reid's a real one though. Jenkins refused to retaliate, figures, instead praising Reid for his efforts and attention to help with social justice initiatives. And this is what Jenkins said, his response. He said, I would never get up here and say anything bad about somebody who I know whose intentions are real about helping in their community, especially another quote-unquote black man. So I'll leave it at that. So he also went further to say, I'm glad he has a job and I'm glad he's back in the league. Now, let me see if I could be able to play it. And let me see. Yeah. But the point of the matter is, it's like this. I totally agree with Eric Reid 120, 100, 250, 50%, or 2,500%. Because Malcolm Jenkins did sold them out. And so did Anquan Bolden. This got hush money to keep them from taking a knee or raising a fist or to talk about, social issues like that as most athletes supposed to. And they turned their back on Colin Kaepernick. I'm always been a firm believer, if you don't stand for something, you're going to fall for anything. And Malcolm Jenkins exemplifies that. But kudos to Eric Reid, though, for going ahead and, and G-checking Malcolm Jenkins. Because when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, like I said, I seen Malcolm Jenkins all on the TV and all over radio, all over social media, with the bullshit. And then, here it is at the end where he says, another black man and all this other stuff like that. Still referring to each other as adjectives when knowing full well that you're proper nouns. But then again, Malcolm Jenkins is one of those guys that You know, you're getting paid millions of dollars, but he only got a 5-cent brain. But, you know, let me know what y'all think about this, man, in the comment section. Go ahead, share, subscribe. This will be put over in my Patreon as well. So, you know, with that said, this the narrator once again. You know, love, truth, peace, freedom, justice. Peace and love. I'm out.